it's Susan Jones and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to take a few minutes and just share with you a fun end of the year activity that ends up being a great keepsake for students to take home with them. It's really simple to do in your classroom and it ends up being really endearing and really meaningful, and it's a great way to kind of see what students have learned throughout the year and what these important topics mean to them. I don't really have a name for it, but it's basically like whole class poetry. The students will be working together to collaborate and make their combined poem as a classroom that they will each get to take home. So this is how you do it. What you're going to do is you're going to give each student a blank piece of paper and you're going to put like 3 to 5 minutes on the clock, and you're just going to give them a free write. So what I like to do for this is I like to pick a topic that I want them to write about. I wrote some on the back here like friendship, memories, being kind, integrity. Maybe pick something that really meant a lot to your classroom this year or something that you really focused on. It doesn't need to be the same every single year. You can totally change that up. And then with their blank paper, I give them 3 to 5 minutes to just free write. They're going to write sentences, words, and phrases about those topics. So with my first grade classroom, I would do something like friendship is ... or friendship means, or what being kind means to me. And I would kind of write that question on the board. You don't need to do just one word. You might need to guide them a little bit more with that. And then students will just go ahead and write as many sentences that they can think of. Memories, you could write my favorite first grade memory is, and they could go ahead and write out a bunch of different memories. When the timer goes off after 3 to 5 minutes, I have students look at their work, and then I give them just 1 minute to reread what they wrote, and they need to pick their favorite sentence. I like to have them do this completely independently so they are not looking at what their neighbors wrote. A lot of times that happens where they'll look and say, oh, friendship means sharing your toys. Oh, me too. And they write the same thing. I really want them to try to do this themselves. After they've picked out their favorite sentence, they will go ahead and circle it or highlight it on their paper, and they will pass it into me. I will go ahead and just check everybody's sentences to make sure that number 1, it's appropriate, and number 2, the sentence makes sense, to see if we need to edit anything. And then the next day, I will usually pass out some colored strips like this. Just some colored construction paper. And after we've done a quick edit of the sentence together, they will go ahead and they will write their sentence on their piece of paper. So for this one I did friendship is, so maybe it's being kind to one another, sharing our snacks and reading together, watching movies together, laughing at each other's jokes. These are all things that I've heard typical first graders say in the past, so I just use these for an example. And once everybody has their little strip of paper, it's about 1 inch tall, and I just cut this from a regular piece of paper. So what is that, 11 inches long? 8.5 by 11. So yeah, I just cut them like that. Then I'll insert a picture here of what it looks like, but basically on a white poster board, I write our title or our, whatever our sentence stem was, and I would say friendship is, and it could say by class 102 or whatever your classroom is, and I would go ahead and glue all of the sentence strips on there. And it creates a beautiful poster board. It's such a nice keepsake for your whole class to kind of view for those last few weeks of school together and really just bring back what your classroom community means to you and things like that. Because there's only one of them, of course not everybody in the classroom can take it with them, so a couple things I like to do to make sure everybody gets a copy. And the first is I will type up the poem. So we will read our poem together, and then I will actually type it up, and I will have students highlight their own sentence that they added to our classroom poem, so when they take it home to show their parents, they know what they added. Another thing you can do is I've taken digital photos of the actual poster board itself, make sure it has some nice lighting so it's not like all shadowy and you can see the pretty colors, and I will send that home to each student as well, and they can take that for the end of the year. It's just a simple and fun activity to get your students writing and to get them, like I said, thinking about the end of the year and really celebrating their time together and what they've learned. I hope you enjoyed this activity in this video, and if you do, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up so I know you liked it. If you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. That way you're notified of my new videos every single week. See you next time. Bye!